You know what I call the mullet of fighter planes? The DO-335. Business in the front where they put the guns, and party in the back where they put the second engine. How do you do, fellow nerds? I'm Chase, author of the sci-fi book series The Descendants Saga and professional nerd. In today's episode of Cool and Obscure Airplanes, we're talking about the German Dornier 335, a fighter plane, not the Ford small block V8. Dornier was a prominent aircraft manufacturer that started back in 1914 building seaplanes, and is probably best known for the 1930s Do-17 bomber, aka the Flying Pencil, that numerically served as a large portion of the Third Reich's bomber force, but was phased out and virtually unused in combat roles by the end of the Battle of Britain in 1941, because aircraft technology had advanced and rendered the design obsolete. What was, by 1941, probably another obsolete concept was that of the heavy fighter. Many planes, like the Bf-110, were two-engine, cannon-armed heavy fighters that struggled to perform as their single-engine counterparts got faster and more maneuverable and started carrying cannons of their own, since airplane technology improved. Still, Dornier wanted the horsepower of a two-engine heavy fighter, in the smaller, more nimble package of a normal fighter, fitting both engines into the fuselage, one on the front with a normal propeller, and the second one in the back with a drive shaft and a pusher propeller. This plane, known as the Arrow, or the Anteater depending on who you ask, was pretty unique. Like any good heavy fighter, it had a heavy cannon armament with a 30mm cannon firing through the hub of the forward propeller, and two 20mm cannons in the cowling firing through the propeller arc like a biplane's machine guns. It had a unique system to jettison the rear propeller and vertical dorsal fin to make it safer for the pilot if they had to eject, because it had an early ejection seat too. Because of the tandem engine configuration, it was more aerodynamic than other heavy fighters and was able to better use that extra horsepower to go fast, hitting about 470 miles an hour. Not as fast as jet fighters like the Me-262, but still faster than the other Allied fighters like the P-51D that it was likely to run into. The first test flight was in 1943, and with a development cycle through 1944, they didn't start production until 1945. Only 37 aircraft were built, and most of that was in flight testing and pilot training. Very little verifiable combat action was recorded before the Third Reich surrendered after the leader found a final solution for himself. Only 11 of those 37 aircraft were combat-ready production airframes, built before the factory was overrun in April of 1945. There was a few stories about these aircraft seeing action in the final days of the war over Europe, but personally I think only one of those stories is credible. French ace pilot Pierre Closterman, leading a flight of Hawker Tempests, spotted an unknown plane with German markings flying very fast at treetop level. The German pilot spotted the Tempests and pulled a U-turn and evaded them. Despite the Tempest's good low-altitude performance, they couldn't catch it. The four pilots described a plane that matched the Do-335.